I never thought that I'd be covering a game 5 years after its release, yet here we are in 2021 and No Man's Sky is doing better than ever. I'm truly surprised really at how Hello Games managed to turn things around and even stay true to their fans after all of this time, when other developers would have abandoned it a long time ago. We got countless new updates, constant support, really wild and interesting features, and the best part about this, outside of the fact that it was all for absolutely free, is that it doesn't seem to stop anytime soon. Back in 2019 I went over some of the massive changes that the game made at the time, and why I thought back then that it was about to really blow up and make a huge comeback that year. Well, here we are almost 2 years later, countless other updates that completely changed the face of No Man's Sky forever, and in this video I want to go over the same retrospect look at the game and why I believe 2021 is going to be another big year for the game. As always, a like on the video would really help me out, and let's jump right into it. Now, taking a look at their past releases, it seems that Hello Games has gone better and better at releasing significant updates over short periods of time. For example, 2020 alone had more updates than the previous years had combined, and it seems that the rhythm is accelerating with 2021. So it takes anywhere between 1.5 months to a little bit over 2 months for a regular sized update to be released, and that is because Hello Games also has a slightly bigger team right now, but it's also very likely that they finally nailed down the entire process of creation, bringing things up to pace, and then releasing it all for the players to enjoy. But I'm really excited for this year because 2021 already started really strong with two very big and important updates, including the companions and then the expeditions, which honestly just blew me away. They changed the game so much right now, it's like not even the same game that was back in 2019 when I was covering it. I will cover the 2021 updates in just a little bit, but I want to take a look at the previous year because that is a really good indication of what we should expect from this one. So back in 2020 we got 6 major updates, 4 of which exclusively focused on completely new features as well as completely improving upon existing ones. The remaining 2 were pretty much focused on the technical side, so improving on the functionality of the game like crossplay, and more important, the next gen support for the new generation of consoles, which is really noticeable because you can see how they shifted around into creating even more ambitious updates because they now have the headroom with the new hardware and whatnot. But year 2020 started strong as well with the Living Ship and the Exomech in spring. So Living Ship was already amazing at the time because it came out of nowhere with a completely new quest line and, more important, a new type of organic ship. And honestly, this is one of my favorite new additions to date, simply because they don't just add a new update or a new feature, they also made a quest line that gets you very involved with the process of acquiring the new addition in the first place. So you kind of have to raise this alien egg that you stumble upon following like weeks of in-game ARG, and then once you finally raise it to its full potential, it turns out to be this alien creature that also happens to be a ship, so you can travel the universe inside of it, and yeah, it's also living, so who wouldn't love something like that? Add on that the fact that it comes in with its own upgrades and unique ways of functioning, and you get like a recipe for some of the best updates out there. Then came in Exomech back in April of 2020. It was a much needed upgrade to the existing exocrafts, which at the time were really lackluster after years of updates to other parts of the game. But it didn't just upgrade the existing exocrafts, it also added a completely new one, which was the big, oversized and very capable mech suit. Despite some of its initial downsides with the maneuvering, it quickly became one of the most important exosuits simply because it's one of the most durable, it makes you completely immune to environmental hazards, and it comes in with some of the most powerful upgrades both for resource collection as well as fighting. But the cycle of surprises didn't just stop there, and actually summer of 2020 came in with another big one in the form of the Desolation update. This was the very first update of its type, adding the first horror element in a game you would least expect them. Though I will say this, Hello Games already experimented with a horror element back in the Atlas Rises days, as well as during the 2018 ARG that was leading up to the next update, so they already kinda had a bit of experience with that. But this added the abandoned freighters or the anomaly freighters, where you kind of have to find clues about a missing crew while randomly stumbling upon horrific invading alien life forms. It's all really amazing, it plays completely different than anything else, also because the camera work is different, but because that section has a completely different gravity than anything else you encounter in the game. So at this point we already thought that it's done with updates. This is the usual cycle that No Man's Sky goes with, 3 updates per year, at least that was until 2020. Little did we know that this was only half of the road back last year, and we got 3 more, even bigger updates than before. Well, the biggest of them all was Origins that dropped in September, and by far the biggest update in 2020, and one of the most significant when it comes to planetary exploration and biodiversity. It got over a dozen new biome types, some of which were actually requested by the community for a very long time. Like for example the volcanoes, we've been talking about these ever since 2018, and like meteor showers, which are now in the game, we've talked about these ever since like 2016, and many other cool possibilities that were added with the Origins update. But of course it didn't stop just there. We got richer fauna, denser and more unique vegetation, and a really awesome and brand new gigantic alien structure, which yeah, we kind of now know that it comes in the form of these alien archives that you go in, you kind of give in some of the ancient relics you find, and you get a really cool reward out of it, as well as a bit of lore in there. But it also serves as kind of like a waypoint or a gathering point for players in the new Expeditions update. But this is not it, we also got the crossplay and the all-awaited next-gen upgrade. At that point we've been talking about these pretty much ad nauseum because they were the most expected of them all, especially with the launch of the new generation of consoles. So both in June and then in November, when the next generation or the new generation of consoles launched, we also got that next-gen upgrade that came in with some really nice goodies, and especially so ones that made use of the more improved hardware. This included of course much denser vegetation, improved graphics to take advantage of the new hardware, as well as bigger multiplayer lobbies, which are now pretty much on par with the ones on the PC. So overall these 6 updates right there made the game like probably its best version up until today. Now in 2021 is when it becomes truly amazing, and it starts to go in even crazier than the last year. We already started the year with the Companions update, which honestly made so many people happy, simply because it added, well, in short, the version of Pokemon that we always wanted in No Man's Sky. You can essentially go in on any planet, and almost any creature you lay your eyes upon can be your pet. And not just that, you can breed these, create new offsprings with different colors, with different variations, name them, make them bigger, make them smaller, make them smarter, make them even help you in combat or in exploration, and also have that really awesome customization over there for them. But this brings us to the final update that we got just a couple of months ago, which was the Expedition update, and this already sets the bar even higher compared to how it was before. Now the biggest feature over here is the introduction of expeditions and milestones, and now what they did is that they added kind of like this season type of event where for the next couple of months, up to 3 months, you get these expeditions that are community-wide, as in you go in and explore the universe with every other person who plays the same expedition, which can literally mean like all the hundreds of thousands of people that might play in these new updates. And I really like this. If you played Path of Exile and their seasonal like events and whatnot, it kinda seems similar to that, and not just that, it presents the game to you in a whole new way. I will definitely talk about this in a different kind of video, but if you ever thought that No Man's Sky is rewarding you, like your exploration and everything that you're doing in the game, then you haven't seen the expeditions yet. All in all, I'm expecting big changes this summer, and especially following after that, in probably like fall, we're probably gonna get another big update similar to last year, or who knows, Hello Games might change things up again and maybe just combine the next two updates into one bigger that is going to be on the same scale that Next was in 2018 and Beyond was in 2019. I wouldn't completely rule that out, since now they don't have to worry about a next generation launch or another relaunch of the game. They simply have to worry about bringing new features to the game and make it even better. So all in all, future looks even brighter for No Man's Sky now that we have the next generation of consoles, even more headroom for even wilder kinds of features and new concepts that I cannot wait to see and cover here on this channel. So right now, if you didn't pay attention to No Man's Sky, if you skipped some of the updates, if you're not up to date with the new ones in 2021, it's one of the best moments to jump in, get a fresh perspective on the game, and have a lot more fun with a huge amount of features that you have right now in the game. And I definitely recommend those expeditions if that's what you're trying to do. This is it for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.